Anyway, thank you. Basically, I'm using Rougeline tomatoes. You all wonder why we have this, right? If I had my way, I would love Singapore to have this available in our own backyard. But actually, we don't have. The tomatoes here are basically, how would I say? They are not basically tomatoes you find in our local market. They are very good in terms of flavor. And tomatoes like this on the vine, basically, is actually just amazing. Okay? Even the plum tomatoes here that we have it here, to me, the flavors are different. It's very important we start with a good produce first. Then from there, we can go and get better results. And I mean, tomato by itself, for me, you should actually have it by itself. You don't have to do anything to it. But today here, I'm just going to give you a bit more usage to the tomatoes. Basically, I'm just doing basically the sambal prawns, but the highlight is not the prawns, it's more of the tomatoes, okay? Just add into the flavors. Because normally when you do sambal, we have things like tamarind acid into your sauces. But here, I'm using the fresh tomatoes just to give you that hint of the sourness of it, and this is more natural, okay? And one other dish. The other dish I'm going to basically do is basically a vine-ripened tomato. Slow roast it for about an hour and a half. You get the tomato just barely burst, and the juices in the tomato becomes sort of like boil up. It has more flavor to it. So it's very good to accompany your meat and your whatever seafood you have, okay? So today I'm using this cherry tomato on vine and the plum tomatoes. What I have here is basically some, you don't have it here, but some French onions too, okay? So once it's almost cooked, the prawns, I'm going to throw the tomato inside. So let the tomato touch the heat. When the tomato starts to burst, all the juice come out a little bit, done. So I still get my fresh tomato and my prawns cooked nicely, so you can eat both later. The other dish I did, it takes a bit longer. I had this cut off. I left the vine on. I put it on a flat tray. I put some olive oil, salt, pepper, sugar, and I roast it in the oven for about an hour and a half at 100 degrees only. Okay, so an hour and a half later, I get a tomato nicely just roasted.
Is it right to say that the big tomatoes are for cooking and then the small ones are more precious, so they go into salad and cold dishes?
Actually, there's no right or wrong on how you want to use the tomatoes, actually. It's personal preference. Okay? When I buy tomatoes for my events now, I don't buy tomatoes like this. I buy tomatoes like this. They cost me more, but it tastes nicer. Because why? When the vine is still at the tomato is still actually alive. This tomato is still alive. That means it is still growing. Whatever sugar that's left in the vine is still being sucked by the tomato. So it will turn sweeter. This one is considered dead. Stop growing already. Okay? So that one will taste better after a while. Okay? So it's almost done. I'm going to throw this in. Okay, let it burst. The flavor also comes from where the tomatoes are grown, yeah? And the climate is different, the tomato tastes different, yeah? Alright? So because the soil all factors in how the grape tastes. Okay? So there you go. You get one simple sambal prawn dish with some nice French plum cherry tomatoes. They are super spicy. Really super spicy, okay?